All right, here we go. Back to our breaking news. And folks, you're looking now officially live pictures, aerial pictures with our affiliate WFAA. And these are the first images we have. Yes, Angie Massey, my executive producer, in my ear, very astute in saying we're going to be careful as we are sitting on these live pictures. There could be people, there could be bodies inside of some of these structures that have been whipped around here as a result of the tornado. So we're going to be careful in what we choose to show you and what we choose not to show you. But you can see, and guys, just tell me in my ear if we know specifically what neighborhood this is. But okay, but this is Dallas County, Texas. Multiple homes. In fact, look, Chad Myers standing alongside me. You can see, let's see, one, two, third house from the left. What appears to have possibly been a two-story home. It almost appears like that second story is gone.
Yeah, and this is kind of the skipping nature of what kind of tornado we have had, and now the skipping is back, skipping down again. New confirmed reports that the tornado is back down on the ground in parts of Mesquite, especially western Mesquite, Texas, and as it moves to the north and to the northeast. The helicopter here not going to follow that storm. It has found enough this much damage here, but Mesquite, Texas, especially the western parts of Mesquite, you need to be taking cover right now.
Dog. Yeah, this is why they tell people to go to the center of the house.
Yeah, the windows are broken. You'd be cut if you were there. Do not ever open the windows in a tornado. This was a long ago myth. If you get near the window, you're putting yourself in more danger of getting cut than you do by helping your house, by opening up the windows and what they thought was relieving the pressure. That simply doesn't work.
It's interesting, though, when you look at this and you see the damage to the homes on the left. As you point out, you know, this sort of skipping nature of tornadoes. The homes on the right seem to be, for the most part, untouched. And then all in between there, the trees sort of on top of one another, sort of inward, I presume just because of the wind, the trajectory.
Yeah, you can never, that's why when we say we cannot confirm that this is a tornado until the Weather Service goes out to look, they want to see whether everything was going, all the wind was going in the same direction or a different direction. When you see every tree going in a different shape and form, all going in the middle of almost like a pyramid coming together, that's when you know there was circulation sucking in there. This was certainly a confirmed tornado on the ground without even waiting for the National Weather Service to go out to actually confirm it.
Yeah,
that's what they look for. They look for trees going in different directions. They look for circulation. They look for this one house hit. The next house, there's not even a shingle missing on that house over the word breaking news, and there's a complete half of a floor missing on the house just off to the right.
As we look at these pictures here, and they look to be pretty sizable homes, and I noticed, I saw a fire on scene, fire truck, you see the flashing lights, police on the scene. They're all responding here as expediently as they possibly can to all these people. And you see someone's SUV sort of half in a tree there. As we're looking at this, and again, we're trying to hone in on exactly where it was. Look at that, half the tree snapped off in the middle of the road. Fire. Perhaps someone in the neighborhood walking along. I mean, just imagine, obviously you're thankful that your life was spared for some of these folks walking around, but just what that would feel like. My thoughts and prayers go out to folks in Lancaster, Texas. Thank you, Angie. This is Lancaster, Texas. Now we have a location on what it is we're looking at. And that almost looks to me, Chad, it almost looks like an RV.
I think
on the side, I see a mattress on the right side. And it is toppled.
There's a little part right there that would have been the bump out where you can push out part of the RV and make it a little bit wider as you go camping. So that was, and this is what we tell people and why we tell people about why you must get out of a mobile home. It's attached to the ground. We understand there are wires, and those wires do nothing. They will break, a tornado will break, snap those wires in no time. You need to get out and into a safe structure for the simple reason why you saw that flipped over and those 15,000-pound semis, the back of the semi-trailer, 100 to 300 feet in the sky, live on this air just 20, 30 minutes ago.
Again, live here on CNN, damage in Lancaster, Texas. I'm Brooke Baldwin, sitting alongside meteorologist Chad Myers, welcoming all of our viewers here in the United States and around the world as we are getting our first glimpses of the aftermath of one of two tornadoes that have been on the ground in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We saw not too long ago just that the power of these storms, the power of the winds, the tornado just whipping massive tractor trailers through the sky, and these are now in daylight now that the ominous gray skies have moved through, and you can see what used to be perhaps a two-story home absolutely gone. Fire, you see fire on the scene, carrying along chainsaws, carrying instruments to perhaps get people out of some of these homes. Obviously, you know, I've covered stories like this, so have you. People can be trapped, so they want to make sure everyone is accounted for, safe, and so they're responding. Lancaster, Texas, you mentioned Chad Myers. There is a tornado now on the ground in what?
Euless. In Euless, Texas, and also in Mesquite. We believe that we have 2 tornadoes on the ground. Mesquite has been confirmed. The Euless storm was the storm that was moving up the I-35W through Arlington, Texas. We all know Arlington because that's where the Texas Rangers play. There are obviously amusement parks in Arlington and so on and so on. That storm was on the ground a long time, and it was a bigger storm than this one that you're seeing now. And there are more storms to the south that may actually approach the cities, both cities, the Metroplex, in the next hour or so.
And I'm just reading this banner right along with you. Tornado approaching DFW?
That absolutely could be, because that's the storm that would be moving through Euless. And DFW is between the I-35E and W as it comes out, as it comes together on the north side of DFW, on the north side of Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. 35E and W come back together to make one interstate again on the way up to Oklahoma City. So something else, more people get hurt going outside after a tornado, because every board that you see there, Brooke, has a nail sticking out. Every power line that you think is dead may be alive. Everything that you think was okay before the storm is now not okay. Things are broken, nails are everywhere. People get, there's more tetanus after a storm like this. There are things in the air, there are power lines that are still, you need to be so very careful. And then tonight, people are going to get their generators out thinking they're doing themselves good, and all a generator will do for you, other than make electricity, is make carbon monoxide.
Look at these people just rushing probably toward this police officer, it looks like.
Yeah,
this is taped. Just to be clear, this is not live. We're being very, very careful as to what we're showing you live on air, but you can see they're rushing toward this RV, possibly, as we mentioned earlier. They're hearing screams. We don't know. We don't know, but that's one issue with storms like this, is people trapped.
Well, the officer there talking on his walkie-talkie there, the microphone on his shoulder, pushing the button, informing other officers to come by. This area is obviously cordoned off. That's why the people were running in. They were stopped on the way into this neighborhood, and they obviously had a good story. They had their IDs with them, and they were able to come in saying, hey, there is somebody still with us. There was somebody back there at that house. We need to go look for them, and that's what these people are doing now.
We're going to go back to these pictures in just a moment. But if you're just joining us, I just want to give you a bigger picture as far as how long have we been talking tornadoes, Chad? About 45 minutes?
Yeah, at least.
45 minutes here. So this is the beginning. This was the beginning, I should say, just about 45 to an hour ago in Dallas County. And this was the tornado on the ground. You can see the funnel. And this was, as it was moving, we were watching this, you and I, moving left of the screen. This is right in front of, this was 35E.
This is the Lancaster storm. This is the tornado that just caused the damage that we just looked at.
So this was the beginning.
Yes.
This was the tornado, presumably 125, 120 miles per hour, at least, on the ground for how long? Do we know? I
would say this was on the ground for maybe 30 to 45 minutes. It's the same tornado that went and hit the trucking unit, the outfit where the trucks were thrown into the sky. That's how long. We were talking about this for a long time. Then this shot went away. We were talking about another shot. And then all of a sudden, the next shot came in, and trucks, literally the back side of a semi, the trailer, being thrown into the sky at least 200 feet.
And we're talking Dallas-Fort Worth. These are cosmopolitan. This is urban Texas. Granted, some of these pictures do show fields, land, a little bit more. You can see the snapping, the bright lights. These are the pictures as we watch the tornado moving through, whipping through this tractor trailer parking lot. And it's just, you and I were practically speechless watching this as you see them tossed through the air and then landing back on the ground. We were talking to Dallas County, a public information officer. They're obviously very aware of what would happen at this specific facility. We saw pictures in the daylight.
Look at that one go up in the air.
Up in the air.
It looked like an HO train.
And then cue the daylight pictures. This minutes after we saw them tossed about, we see the damage on the ground. In fact, as they pull out with some of these aerial pictures, you see how far some of these tractor trailers were tossed, hundreds of feet.
Yes.
Hundreds of feet away.
No question. And I have heard, I worked in Oklahoma for a long time, there was a school bus, no children in it, not a driver. It was picked up and thrown 1 mile. A school bus, in a school bus parking lot, they never found it for days, and it was thrown 1 solid mile away. Now, that was an EF4 tornado, about a 200-mile-per-hour tornado. This didn't get thrown quite as far, but obviously the suction power, the wind power, and just the sheer devastation that can happen when you get wind speeds like this.
Chad, thank you. I want to let you know as we continue following the breaking news, these storms through the Dallas County area, Fort Worth. Want to let you know, as we were talking about that tornado and the trajectory, we have now learned that Dallas-Fort Worth, DFW, the airport, has now grounded all flights. Grounded all flights. So heads up if you are headed to or perhaps at the airport. And also, we do have Red Cross on the phone as we continue to look at these new pictures of damage. Emergency personnel, firefighters here on the scene. We're going to talk Red Cross after this quick break. Don't move.